Welcome everyone to our Tuesday afternoon mastermind session, guys. It's called Accelerated Breakthrough. A good friend of mine reached out to me this morning and said, "Hey, what does accelerated breakthrough mean?" And I told him this. I said, "Listen, I believe that there's a lot of agents out there that are struggling, some of which are on this mastermind right now." And when I named this mastermind and the subsequent program called Accelerated Breakthrough, I thought, well, what do agents want? And I don't care what level of success that you're at. You could be closing 5,000 homes a year. You still need a breakthrough to get to the next level. So this is specifically designed to give you the knowledge, the skills, the mindset, and habits to help you have your breakthrough, whatever that is. Maybe you want to jump from 2 transactions to 20. Maybe you want to jump from 20 to 120. Whatever that is, it does require a breakthrough, no doubt about that. Now, one thing that's important to recognize as you go through your real estate career, not all things are going to work. In fact, you're probably going to experience some breakdowns in the process. Would you guys agree with that? How many of you guys have had a breakdown over the course of your real estate career? Anyone? How many of you had a breakdown already today? Anyone? Yet, here's my input. Let's celebrate our breakdowns, because you have a breakdown. You can't have a breakthrough until you have a breakdown, if that makes sense. In fact, a breakthrough is always preceded by a breakdown at some level or another. You think about the universal model of change. And I want you to imagine that you're cruising along this trend line with your career from A to B, and everything seems to be going smoothly, and you're doing certain strategies and tactics, they seem to be working. And then you recognize that, hey, maybe what I'm doing or what I did 2 years ago isn't necessarily going to cut it today. So we go from A to B, then we fall down to this position of disappointment, meaning maybe what I was doing 2 years ago isn't working as effectively today. I need to change. I need to identify and adopt a new strategy or tactic to increase the lead flow, the number of appointments, number of contracts, and the amount of money that you make, right? So you hit this point of C, which is disappointment, okay? Then from C, when you're smart, when you plug into things like this, you're going to identify, adopt, implement, and deploy new strategies and tactics that are going to bring you up to what I then call A prime. Now, the level of your previous A is down here, right? Then you go through this cycle of C up to A prime, which is so much higher than your previous A to B level, if this makes sense. So then you cruise along that trend line and you go from A to B. And I promise you, it's not a matter of if, it's just when you hit your next B point to fall downward to C or disappointment, up again to A prime plus. Then you go A to B to C to A prime plus plus, A to B to C to A prime plus 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 plus, right? And this is the universal model of change. And yet the faster you can go through these cycles, the faster you achieve higher levels of growth and success. I've said it before. Those individuals that I've coached or even been coached by that have achieved extraordinary success in their life, guys, they simply fail faster than everyone else. Yet they fail forward. In their mindset, failure is not an option, only learning experiences. And because they fail faster than everyone else, they learn what works faster than everyone else. And you find a strategy or tactic that works. You apply additional time, energy, money, resources, people to scale it out, to wring it out, get as much out of that as you possibly can. And today, I trust we're going to identify some of those strategies and tactics. They're going to help you get to that next A prime plus 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 level. I think about my real estate career, started with RE/MAX, A to B, going along great, really happy. My point of disappointment was when my broker came to me and said, "Sean, you can build a team," because I was building a large team at RE/MAX, and I was consistently top 100 internationally with the organization. Yet he came to me and said, "You can build a team, yet if you want to build a team, you just can't do it here at RE/MAX." So that was disappointment. So then on to A prime, right, which was I started my own brokerage. And I'm cruising along this trend line, A to B, and you hit this point of disappointment is when I got to the end of the year and I looked at the books, I looked at the finances, I looked at my budget, and I recognized that many of those months, I supplemented the cost of running my own brokerage with my own commission dollars just to keep the doors open. So again, disappointment, then it's on to A prime, right? Then I joined Keller Williams, cruising along this trend line. Everything's going great, hit this point of disappointment. Learned about EXP, by the way, and then it's A prime plus 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 infinity here at EXP. So with that said, I just want you to recognize the cycles and the patterns of your real estate career, because success leaves clues and failure also leaves clues. And it's the smart ones who really study that to learn not only from personal experience, yet through the experience of others and studying the success of those that have gone before us. They're the ones that are going to double, triple, quadruple their production year over year over year. Now, I know I've been talking a lot. Man, I got on my soapbox there for a second. I don't like to do that. In fact, I want you guys to talk a lot. In fact, I want one person in particular today to talk a lot. And I want to introduce each and every one of you to just a rock star of a man, a family man, a guy who understands growth, understands just how to build things. I mean, in my opinion, Rob Daniel is absolutely an empire builder who's made the decision. He aligned with Icon Coaching. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Rob. He's 67 years old, still runs the Boston Marathon, still, as he had mentioned earlier, he's running the 10K with his grandkids after he runs the 5K and the half marathon and all this other stuff, or 10 miler, I guess. And forgive me, Rob, I only run when people chase me, so I don't know the terminology of marathon running yet. Man, I'll tell you what, he's a former Bold coach. I had the pleasure of mentoring Rob back in the day. This goes back 10 years ago. And he took off, man. He was Bold Coach of the Year for 3 years in a row. He built a massive call center of what we call BGAs, Business Growth Advisors, for Keller Williams MAPS Coaching. And he made the decision to leave MAPS Coaching and come here on board with Icon Coaching. And I asked him if today, would he share with you guys some strategies and tactics that you can implement and deploy like today, right now, to increase your lead generation for listings, your lead conversion on listing appointments. And so, Rob, I'm just so blessed and so grateful that you're gonna just add value to all these people. Just pour into them today, buddy. And I'm gonna turn the call over to you. I gotta grab my golf bag and my suitcase. I'm gonna log in from my phone. I'm gonna jump in the car to get to the airport. So take it away, my friend, Rob. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sean, and enjoy yourself. Jack Nicklaus, are you kidding me? I mean, first of all, I would have said, you're going to go golf with John Maxwell? Wow. But then you add Jack Nicklaus to that. That's just out of this world. And so enjoy yourself. Thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for the mentoring that you gave me back in the time when we started Bold. And I do want to bring you some things, and I do appreciate him. I love growing things, okay? No matter what it is. I mean, and I'm not talking about vegetables, and I'm not talking about these type of things. I'm talking about growing businesses, growing different segments of your business, okay? And I was doing a book club today. I have a book club that I do online, and one of the things that I talked to them about is that there is no shortages of success. There is no shortages of success. And so anything and everything that you want to do in any part of your business can be successful. I would believe, and if you don't mind, I'm going to look at my chat right here, because this is really a mastermind. At the same time, I'm going to lead you into a subject. But what I would like to know is, what are 2 or 3 things? For example, when I was selling real estate, I did, I worked expireds and for sale by owners. I worked a geographic area, open houses, and database. Okay, those were my 4 or 5 things that I really did well. And we're going to talk about one of those for a few minutes here. By the way, Tim, how much time do I have? Do I have like 10 minutes? I mean, is that the bottom of the hour, or do I have the other 30 minutes here to be able to really get going? I don't even know what time.
Well, let's see how much time Sean wants to give us. I think normally we do about half an hour, so maybe about.
Okay.
Can you squeeze it into 10?
Okay, so I have about 10 minutes here to tell you. So it's not going to be a whole lot of mastermind. I trust he'll have me back, and we can mastermind around this one area and maybe the other areas. So very quickly, if you could throw over into the chat really quick, what are some of the things that you do in your business? I mean, that you get money from your database? Do you do events? Do you do, are you like just doing buyers and that's it also? Do you list houses? Do you go after for sale owners, expireds? What is it that you do over there? If you could throw in a couple of those things over in the chat, and so that we know where you stand and where you are and where you get some of your business. Either my chat's not working or nobody's throwing any. Okay, here it comes. Listing and farming, listing probates and trusts. Great source of business. And so I'm going to let you continue to put it over there. Maybe a lot of you are driving and a lot of you just aren't putting over there. But I look at listings. Listings has always been the name of the game. Listings has always been, you've always heard that ever since you've been in the business. I've been in for 35 years, okay, into this business, and it has done me well. I want to talk today. I'll just tell you about those 3 or 4 things that I did. For sale by owners, and we're going to talk about for sale owners for just a few minutes today. And hopefully I can come back and tell you a little bit more about them. I had the good fortune of listing 5 for sale by owners a month for 8 years straight. Okay. I had and this is just to give you my validation here for a moment. I had the good fortune of listing 9 expireds a month for 8 years straight. And I had a geographic area that I had 1,500 houses, had 60% of everything that came in and out of there. Okay. And then my open house, I average 75 people in my open house every 2 weeks. So I trust that I'll be able to come back and talk to you about some of these things. For sale by owners, let's talk about them just for a few moments, okay? How do you get for sale by owners? How do you go after for sale by owners? I want to share with you something. If you are not in, and I want to talk about Mindshare for a moment. If you can write some things down, I hope you do. The Mindshare, what is it? You must be in the top two of their Mindshare, the for sale owner Mindshare, your database Mindshare. That's why people go into our database sometimes and snatch people right out of our database and go sell a house. Another realtor does, is because we're not in the top 2 Mindshare of that person in our database. Same thing with for sale by owners. Let me give you an example. If you'll really work with me over in the chat room, I know some of you are reluctant to do it, but if you will, help me out right here. If I say potato chips, what is the #1 company that, and you can come off mute if you'd like to, what is the #1 company that you think of? Well, there it goes.
Lay's.
I mean, it's going, yeah, Lay's. Okay. That is, if I say tennis shoe, what is the #1 company?
Nike.
Nike. Yep, there they go. If I say tissue, what is the #1 company?
Kleenex.
Kleenex. Okay. If I say, now this might be 2. If I say toothpaste, what's the #1 company?
Colgate and Crest.
Colgate and Crest. If you say AIM, it's only because your grandparents used it and you just used it because they're using it right now. Okay. So do you get the message right there that they can only think, the brain can only take in 2 at a time. 2 at a time. So what are you doing with the Mindshare? So what does that have to do with for sale by owners? Well, here's what it has to do with. I would like to ask you a question, and I think I know the answer because I've asked it every year. I did over 150 bolds, and I've asked this question every time that I did bold. I asked the question, how many of you, everybody within every for sale by owner within a 25-mile radius knows your name? Is there anybody on here? You could give me a thumbs up. You could say, hey, Rob, me. And with every for sale by owner within a 25-mile radius knows your name. Right. That's what I'm saying. So the question is, how are you going to be in the top 1 or 2 of the Mindshare? Right? How are you going to be in that top 1 or 2 if they have no clue who you are? No clue who you are. So instead of giving you the script of calling them up and talking to them, and I promise I'll do that at another time to show you how I got the 5 listings every single month. But my time is short right here. So I wanted to talk to you then about the Mindshare and challenge every one of you to put together some kind of a packet that has a whole bunch of, EXP things in it. We're #1, we're the best, all this kind of stuff that you can get, and just put it in there and then write them a note. Write every for sale by owner a note and just say, hey, how you doing? My name is, I'm gonna pick somebody. My name is Amber. I'm with the EXP. And I just wanted to say, I saw your house on the market. You're selling it yourself. Here's my card. If you could put this on your refrigerator, and if you ever need me, please give me a call. Now put about 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 of those in your back seat of your car. Whenever you see a for sale, by the way, can I let you know something? The National Association of Realtors says that 72% of all for sale by owners today are going with a real estate agent. 72% of all for sale by owners are going with a real estate agent. Now, let me help you with this, because some of you might be calling for sale by owners from Zillow or from forsalebyowner.com, and you're saying, whoa, wait a minute, no, they're selling. It's not 70%. Let me say this to you. 85% of all for sale by owners do not advertise at Zillow and forsalebyowner.com anywhere. They only put a sign in their front yard. And it's a small sign at that. Okay? They are right now. They are waiting for you. They are raising their hand. I can remember we taught this. What does FSBO stand for? Fastest source of business opportunity. And so put those packets in the back of your car, and every time, and go out within a 25-mile radius, take a different way home. Take a different way to this place or that place, to the grocery store. Find those little signs. And then stop the car. Now, for you that are afraid to do for sale by owners, okay, you're afraid of them. And I get that many of us are afraid because, by the way, do for sale by owners want to sell their house? Yes or no? Yes. Do expireds want to sell their house? Yes or no? Yes. Are we realtors that sell houses? Yes or no? Yes. What a great match. What a great match, yet we don't want to ever talk to them or call them or anything. I trust I can help you with that. And the next thing you know, you're listing 4 or 5 every single month. So my point is this: when you drive up, let me give you the technique. It's a Rob Daniel technique. I created this just for everybody that is scared to door knock. Okay. So you drive up, you stop the car, you keep it running. Keep the car running. That's your safety blanket. Okay. You jump out of the car, run up to the porch, put a packet down, run back to your car, and get the heck out of there. It's called the run, drop, run technique. Okay. Run, drop, run technique. It works. Show me that it doesn't work. They now have your name. Nobody else is doing this. No one else is doing this out here. No other realtors are doing, no other companies are doing this. You can do it. And that's all you have to do for right now. I'll bring you a little bit further along, with the scripts and the dialogues and some of the handling objection techniques. I even have them on a voice text, and I can send them to you after we do one of the classes about this. All I'm saying to you, every single for sale owner will have your name now. And there's a bunch of them that will put your card on the refrigerator, and they will call you. And there's somebody on here, there's several of you on here, that if you do that, if you take that challenge to go do that, you will get there'll be somebody come back next week and say, hey, I got a couple of listings from that technique that I did, that every for sale owner within a 25-mile radius knows my name. Knows my name. Now, if you really want to get crazy, and I'm a crazy person, okay? Just so you know, I am crazy, a little bit crazy anyway. I taught this, and I can tell you a dozen people took me up on it because they brought it to class and they showed it to me what they did. You ready for something way out of bounds, way wild, just a little bit? And if you don't want to get out of your car, now you got to practice this. I know you're going to say this is crazy. However, it worked. Frisbees. You think that's crazy? Yes, it is. But I'm telling you, a dozen people I know work. They put their card underneath the Frisbee, roll down the passenger window, and when they saw a for sale by owner, they would shoot that sucker right out the window. I even got a video showing them doing that. And I can tell you now, they were listing 1 to 2 houses a month from that. And again, certainly they became the Frisbee realtor, right? From these for sale by owners. But who cares? It's a brand. It's an absolute brand. Talking about taking it up to a prime, talking about taking something up to a prime, do something different in this market. Do something different in this shifting market. That's what Accelerate Breakthrough is. Do something different than what everybody else is out here doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, well, you know what that means. You know what Einstein says about that. So I want to let you know that if you have enjoyed this, just this small, quick, fast technique, that I've given you in a 10-minute period, again, I've got some other things that I do want to talk to you about, help you out in, we are doing, Tim, I don't know if we want to tell them about the Accelerated Breakthrough class that is going to be coming up on May the 2nd, and that's going to be at noon Eastern, okay, noon Eastern, and we're going to have fun with that. Sean and I are going to be teaching that class. 16 weeks of breaking through the shift, making sure you get through the shift and accelerate through it instead of creeping through it.
Yeah.
I don't like to survive. We love to thrive.
Rob, could I jump in real quick? We've already got the links up on the website for that. So just iconcoaching.com in programs, Accelerated Breakthrough, it is there, right? So, and again, we've got, like a webinar and a program for each one. We've got the Accelerated Breakthrough Mastermind, which is what everybody's on right now today. It's our weekly. And then the program, Accelerated Breakthrough, links are there live, starts May 2nd, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And yeah, it's all there. So.
Let me jump in real fast. The program investment is $497. However, I wasn't going to do this today, and Tim, you're probably going to want to shoot me yet. I'm going to do it anyway. Put in the promo code LIVE, L-I-V-E, and you're going to get a $100 discount. So if you guys want to double your production, if you want to quadruple your production, this is a really smart step to take, no doubt about that, because we're going to arm you with the knowledge, skills, mindset, habits to really blow it up in any market condition. We'd love to see you there. Rob and I are going to be co-facilitating. Man, I can't wait to present with you again, Rob. Thank you all. Appreciate your time.
That's absolutely going to be fun. And thank you, everybody. I hope you got some little tip. I know it's not for everybody. I hope you just got some little tip today, and maybe it'll ignite you to go get some listings from these 4 sub-owners. Somebody's going to get them. Might as well be you. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it very much.